Yeah. Fired up this Monday. Fired up this Monday. I hope these messages that you continue to listen to and continue to hear, I hope they permeate the brain, right? I hope these are seeds being planted. I hope there was so much in the video, so many things you've heard, so many, right, quotes and things that I know you know. I just hope that you take those and start applying them in your life. Because these are the things, y'all. These are the things to focus on. I don't know why it made me laugh when Steve Jobs said, sometimes life will hit you in the head with a brick. Like just imagine that imagery, right? The imagery of you getting hit in the head with a brick. Sometimes that's what it's going to feel like. Question is, what do you do after that? That's always the question. It's not, how do I avoid getting hit in the head with a brick? Because that's not the case. You can't avoid getting hit in the head with the brick of life. You're not going to avoid it. The question is, when you get hit in the head, are you out? Did you die? Are you done? Or did you cartoon it, have it bounce off your head and get a little woozy, and then get right back to it? Right? Those are the things. When I always tell you, life does not get easier. Don't wish it were easier. Wish you were better. Life is not going to get easier. There's nothing up ahead for us, for the life that we want, that's going to make things easier. It's just going to get harder. The question is, are you getting stronger? And that's what this is about. That's what these are reminders of. That you got to be in the mental, emotional, spiritual gym all the time. All the time. If you want to go off and design your ideal life, remember, I always give context. This is who we're talking to. I'm not talking to people that necessarily don't want anything or don't want to go anywhere. If you're happy just where you are, then God bless you. Just stay where you are. But at the end of the day, if there's places you want to go, you see a different vision for your life, then we now have to start to get in the mental, emotional, spiritual gym every day. 20, like, again, 7 days a week, 365. Like, it's just a constant. This has to be your mind. This has to be your mindset of getting better. There's so much in there. I jotted down a couple things, right? Before you can do, you must become. Always remember that. Before you can do anything, before you can go off and do the things you want to do, you got to become that person. That's this process, ladies and gentlemen, of you becoming the man or woman that can handle the seven figures, becoming the man or woman that can have a successful family, like becoming that person. Before you can do, you have to become. So remember, this is a journey of becoming. Do you think highly of yourself? Kevin Hart said that in there. It's like, why don't you think, like, ask yourself, right? Am I great? Do you believe that you're great? And if in your darkest, deepest, right, like kind of the depths of your thoughts, do you believe that? Like, do you believe that you're great? Because I'd I'd be curious, like if you did believe that, you'd probably walk around differently. You probably move differently. You probably talk to people differently. You probably set up different boundaries. You probably wouldn't accept certain things in your life. But is that your belief? Do you think highly of yourself? I know it's real easy to be like, I do, I love my, but like when you really sit and you get quiet and you get away from the noise and you just sit with yourself, do we have a belief issue? Do we have a self belief issue, right? Do we have a confidence issue? Do we not believe in ourselves? And if so, once you identify it, awareness is the first step to changing. Just being aware of it. Like, yeah, I actually don't know where this came. Why don't I think highly of myself? What voice have I been listening to? What have I been telling myself as the story that's gotten me to this place in life where I don't think I'm great? You got to evaluate that yourself, ladies and gentlemen. Belief is built. Belief is built. I used to say this when people would come into business with us. The reason why business can be hard is because most people have never built anything, right? You've never really built anything. Things have happened that have created things, but most people haven't like built something, right? Like we just let our lives happen. So when you come into business, you actually have to build the business. Now that we're talking personal growth, personal development, you actually have to build belief. You have to like build something. Like if you're in construction, you have to go from nothing, just the materials, just the concrete, just the water, just the stuff. You got to, and then you got to build it up in order for it to be what you want it to be. So that's what you got to do in your belief system. However you believe now in your health, wealth, relationship, spiritual life, whatever the beliefs are. You might have to break down everything, get to the raw materials, and then build it back up again. Belief is built. It's not just given. You don't just, oh, I got some belief. No, no, no. You build it. So we got to focus on that. Do something. That's what overcomes the fear. Action overcomes fear. If you're sitting in your mind and you have fearful thoughts, fearful things that you're not, the way you get over fear is doing it. It's facing it head on. It's just going to do the thing. It's just going to do it. I've given this example before, but I just it just resonates with me. Like I have a young daughter. When my daughter is scared of something, I've watched her do it. She's scared of it. She's like, "Oh, I don't want to. I don't." And then all of a sudden, she does it. She does it like 8,000 times, right? The fear just immediately goes away. She's so scared, right? Happens in the summer. We go on the roller coaster. I don't want to go on that one. No, I can't do it. No, I don't want to. No. And then, come on, let's go. Let's go. We get on it. Let's do it again. Let's do it again. Like, right? Because she took action. I know that sounds very like minute, it's very small, but this is how we got to understand how our brains work as adults. You have things you're scared of, you have fears. And just like the child, if you don't actually pursue it, you'll never get over it. You'll get further and further away from it. If every time she walked by that, that roller coaster and she was like, I'm scared. And I'm like, yeah, that's right. Let's go this way. Let's go to on the easier one where you're not scared. And I just kept doing that. She would forever be scared of that. You got to look at that in your life. If the thing that you, right, keep running away from, you keep moving away from because you're just scared to do it, you're always going to be scared to do it. So what do you got to do? You got to take action. That's what overcomes fear. Focus on the outcome versus the process to getting it. I heard that guy in there say, what if laziness, right? A lot of people say they're lazy. What if laziness was just you focused on the process more than focused on the outcome? That's good. What if you're not really lazy? Again, what we tell ourselves, right? The story we tell ourselves, the labels we put on ourselves. Oh, I've just been lazy for a long time. What if it's just that your focus is off? What if it's just no one's ever taught you how to focus on the outcome instead of focusing on the process to get to the outcome? So now you think, right, it's too much, you're overwhelmed, and then you call yourself lazy. If you're not aware of this stuff, ladies and gentlemen, this is why people don't get to the life that they deserve. Is because we're just not aware of these like underlying beliefs that are actually running our life, that are taking us away from the man or woman that we're supposed to be. But just remember, you're one decision away from changing your life. You're one meeting away, one conversation away, one decision away, one phone call away. Like that's really all it is. It could completely change your life because you make a decision, right? We talk about making decisions all the time, but you got to understand that's what this is about. If you make a decision today to stop eating fast food, you'll change your health. Like just make the decision today and then don't do it. If you made the decision today to not put sugar in your body and just like your health would change. It's just a decision. Then comes the work. That's all. But you're one decision away from making it happen. Jocko Willink in there has a book called Extreme Ownership. He was talking about extreme ownership. But basically, extreme ownership, I read the book a few years back, but it's just about taking full responsibility for your life. It's one of the hardest things, simple concept, hard thing to do. Full responsibility for your life. If you look at yourself right now, your situation, and every part of it, you say, that's on me. That's my fault, right? I put myself in this position, health wise, financially, right? To the extreme side of you get in a car accident and it's not your fault by the legal side. Somebody rear ends you, somebody, right, T-bones you because they came out of nowhere. If you've developed this mindset, you're almost like, I knew I should have left the house at the time that da da da. Right? Like you start thinking like, man, I know it wasn't my fault that I got in that accident, but if I would have chosen this differently, if I would have had right, if I would have stayed at home a little bit longer, if I would have done that thing that I said I need to do, I wouldn't have been in this position. I wouldn't have been at this intersection at this time. That is a really hard thing to do, but it's the most freeing thing because just like you heard in the video, now you take control of your life, of all the aspects. You want to control the outcome, right? You want to get to where you want to go. Well, you got to control everything that happens in between, how you look at that. There's a chapter in 177 Mental Toughness Secrets that says the world class takes responsibility, right? They take responsibility for their life. You take responsibility and ownership for all the things that are happening because now you know you are in control. It's the opposite of being a victim. If anything outside of your control is the reason why you've done something or are some way, you've given control and power to that person or that thing or that whatever. They have it, right? It's that. So once you take ownership back of it, you now know I can change it. Things can be different, right? So here's what it says in the text. It says the world class believes in self-reliance. Very similar because this is all that they were talking about inside that video. It says the middle class consciousness tends to rely on other people's actions, opinions, and behaviors. The world class learns to rely on themselves. They develop supreme self-confidence and a penchant for action. The philosophy of the world class is to take full responsibility for their successes and failures. Average performers want to blame everyone for everything. The smoker who gets sick from smoking wants to sue the tobacco company for his illness. The fast food junkie becomes obese and from ingesting hundreds of cheeseburgers and pizzas and blames the restaurant that served her. The poverty, working, and middle class levels of consciousness often have a victim mentality. Professional performers take responsibility for their decisions and exercise self reliance. Maybe most importantly, champions don't look to other people to make them happy. The great ones know happiness is not something you get, it's something you are. While champions enjoy the company of others, they are just happy to be alone. Their core level of contentment begins with them. You taking full ownership for your decisions, you taking full ownership for your life, where you are in your life, your health, your finances, your relationships, your spiritual life, all the stuff, it's on you. Once you do that, once you take ownership, once you get rid of the language of when that happens, or if this happens, or because they did, or because that happened, once you get rid of that language in your life will change. Your life will change. Why? Because now you're going to start to build something different. You're going to start to think something different. You're going to have to start acting in different ways if you start to truly believe that you're responsible. That's what'll happen. And that's the journey of getting to the life that you don't need a break from. That's the journey of building the capacity you need to handle the life you're asking for. I know, easier said than done. Never telling you this stuff is easy. It's just going to be worth it, y'all. It's exactly what you need to do in order to get to the next level. Follow your own path, no matter what people say. Know that you're great. Don't compare yourself to people. Comparison is the thief of joy and perspective and confidence. That's what Michelle Obama's brother said up there, right? Comparison is the thief of joy, perspective, and confidence. So let's not spend this time comparing yourself to what other people have, where you're not, where you should be. Focus on your path. Focus on what you need to do today, Monday, August 24th, to go off and get to the life that you deserve, y'all. I love you guys. I want you to win. You deserve it. Your families deserve it. If nobody tells you, I'll constantly tell you, you deserve to win. People are counting on you to get this information and to apply it. Remember, knowledge is not power. Applied knowledge is power. So take these things that you're hearing and go apply them in your life so that your life can change. All right? Go out, do something that scares you today. Push yourself out of your comfort zone. And I'll see you guys back here on Wednesday. Take care. Love you guys.